And aloha! Welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and I'm your host on the only program that is by a fan, for the fan, and absolutely about you, the fan.
So are you Guy or Guy?
Ed Danowski.
You're not in Hawaii?
I wish.
To Mr. Gary Younger.
Hi, Guy.
Hey, sir, how are you?
And Brock, how are you doing?
Doing great, sir. Doing great. Honored to have you on the show.
You know, I had the privilege while I was in the forces, in the Canadian Armed Forces, to take the Stanley Cup to Afghanistan. Only hockey fans would deploy to Afghanistan where it's 105 to 135 degrees every day, and they'd take their hockey sweaters and play ball hockey. This is a year for the Leafs. The Leafs are going to win it all this year. One of the players down the line said, "You got to be kidding. The Taliban got a better chance of winning the cup."
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Dun, 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 and aloha! Welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and I am all by myself. So today we have got a lot to talk about, and I got to say thank you to the gentleman, Ryan Green, who said, "Hey, dude, where's my show? I want a show." I wasn't going to do one today. I was kind of, having one of them days, and, Ryan came and said, "You know what? I want a show." So, Ryan, here is your show. You know what, Ashley? You want to join me, just let me know, and I'll send you the link. And guys, hey, don't forget to put them thumbs in the air. All that shit helps. And I'm sitting here today, and I'm wondering what is going on with our Blues. This has become a soap opera, an absolute soap opera. Bubba, welcome, my friend. Welcome. Great to have you here. We got a lot to talk about. So, this is something that I'm not 100% sure what's going on. But you know what? It's kind of crazy. But, let's just talk about it. Let's talk about what we're seeing and what we think. I've got my phone set up. We're trying to do an open phones since it's just me. And it looks like Ashley may be popping in. And you know how we all love Ashley. So you guys, if you want to join me or you want to call in, you got to use Facebook Messenger. Danny, how you doing? Aloha, buddy. Use Facebook Messenger and you can call in. One of the first things that I want to do is I want to bring up this expansion or who's available from the Blues. There's some big names out there, but a lot of people are making a big deal, but I think that there's some things happening that we may or may not understand or may not know. So let's take a look at the Blues, what the Blues have available for the expansion. Who can get? Now, there's a name from the Blues that jumps out at me really quick, and it's not the name everybody thinks. We'll talk at it here in a second. Let me bring that page up. Okay. So here's the page. Here it is. So let's look at this, guys, right? Let's look at what we're seeing. First thing that we're seeing here, I'm going to go through the list. Annis, Blaze, Bozak, Clifford, Delarose, Hoffman, Kapsik, McCachran, McKenzie, Pagnazzi, Stanford, Schwartz, Stevens, Tereshchenko, Walker, Bortuzzo, Dunn, Lindbohm, Mikola, Rinke, Santini, Scandella, Wallman, Fitzpatrick, Giles, and Huso. Okay. You know, I get this list. I understand what name on this list sticks out to you? There's a name on that list that absolutely sticks out. And Rob just, Bob says if it becomes a soap opera, it starts and stops Army. I think you might be right. I think it does start and stop with Army. Hey, Lance, you want to join me today, buddy? I know you weren't sure, but if you do, let me know, man. I'll bring you in. No, Sanford's not the name that sticks out. Dunn, no, I knew Dunn was going to be out there. We absolutely knew Dunn was going to be on the list. In fact, everyone's hoping that Dunn is the guy that they take. But if I'm the Cochran, Cochran, I'm the Cochran. There's a name on it. Bingo, Nicola. Absolutely. Nicola is the name that sticks out to me. That's the one I'm taking. Now you got to understand, we're forced to put Nico out there. Okay, we are forced to. You can only protect 3 defensemen, or you could go 4-4. But going 4-4, do you really still protect Nicola? The only thing that I think would happen is that the only thing that I can think is happening, and I'm hoping will happen, is that there's a deal made. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get something set up. I did this last second. Ryan Green, this is for you, buddy. I hope you're out there. I hope you're loving it. He might not even know about it. So somebody can message Ryan and tell him I'm on. I would appreciate it. Be great. Let me see if I can send this out to Lance. He's available. He'll pop on. I know Rob might pop on here, and I think Ashley might pop on. I haven't sent it to Ashley yet, but I will. Let me do that, and then we'll get going. So when you look at this and you say, if you're the Cochran, man, all of a sudden I can't say their name. You're the Cochran. Wow. What do you do if you're Seattle? What do you do? The Blues want you to take Dunn, but man, you're looking there at Mikola and you're going, damn, they barely used that kid this year, and when they did, he was good. Why would they do that? Why would they not use a good kid? I just, everything I've seen about him tells me you get out there and you use him. Ron Francis, that might be what he does. And if I'm Francis, not only that, here's what I do. I take Mikola and I say, hey, Blues, you like Mikola back? We can do a trade. We can work something out. And I'm certain the Blues would, because that's one of the guys that they don't want to, they did not want to leave unprotected. I'm almost dead certain of it. I wouldn't leave him unprotected, but you're forced to. You couldn't go the 4-4. It would have left way too many good forwards unprotected. It's crazy with everything that went on and everything that's happening, that's what they had to do. And it's just, Cochran. Oh, Ryan Green is here. Ryan, thank you. Hey, Ryan, I just want to say thank you to all of you, to you for just, hitting me up when you knew it. You knew I wasn't right, and you said, dude, where's my show? And I appreciate that, because it forced me to come on and do a show, and thank you. And and I see people are watching, and that makes me feel good, so I appreciate that. And we'll talk about this. We got some other things to talk about. Oh, I'm sorry, Jordan. Hi. How are you, Jordan? How's the shipping agent? Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that. Jordan's going to enjoy this, man. Jordan's going to be the person that ships your shirts and things to you. The arena shirts, man. I got them out there. I can't believe nobody's bought them yet. Man, them shirts are sweet. Sweet. You got to get in the store, and even if you can't buy anything, share the store out to your friends. That store is what's going to keep this show afloat, keep this company afloat. You know, we got to get it working. I don't know what's wrong. And let me go through the things here. I got Jordan saying, I've gotten no high. Well, you've got it now. We got that. Barbashev is protected, and I like that. Lance says, I hope not. I think that's on a deal. I think we got to, Gary said Nico, and that's right. Then we may get Landeskog. Nothing for sure. Yes, you're right. Nothing for sure on Landeskog, but we'll see. Let's bring in Miss Ashley Jones and Mr. Stagg himself, Staggenborg. Hey, Rob, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on? I'm actually here in the wonderful world of Walmart in downtown St. Peters. So anyway, I just want to check in with you guys. I'm going to check out, and then I'm going to check in on the show here in about 5 minutes. Just want to make sure you guys were still making it work. And
no, we're going to make it work. I can go to about 3:30. I think I got about 3 o'clock-ish, maybe a little after that. But
I just don't want Ashley to run away because I'm coming on the show. I know she doesn't like my take.
Oh, I don't run away from you, Rob.
No, she's not going to run away. If Ashley runs away from
I don't mean it like
anybody,
that.
It's me.
I don't mean it like that. I don't mean it like that.
We know how you mean it.
Sometimes it's like we don't know if it's friendly fire or not.
Oh, it's always friendly fire.
It's always friendly fire.
But hey, I just want to say hi to everybody. I'm going to check in with you guys in about 5 more minutes. Okay, just going to get out of the store.
We'll see you soon, man. We'll see you soon, buddy.
See you guys.
Right? Yep. Oh, hey, so Rob, Ashley, how you doing? First of all,
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for popping on last second like this. We enjoy having you on. A lot of good things going on in the fan report and in the world of the fan report, right?
Yeah, of course. I'm loving the views. The updates you got on the views on the site.
Oh yeah, man, it's kicking up. And we keep doing that. But right now, here's what's funky. The majority of my views are from Montreal.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, we put out some articles about the Canadians, and they just soak them up.
Oh, yeah.
And that is, but that's what the fan report is, and it's the Blue Note fan report because we're central on the Blues, but we're a full hockey program. And you're the target, right? Mm-hmm. And we've talked about this. You've said, I'm always working on, I just a Blues fan, but I want to learn other stuff. So you're my target. You're the kind of fan that I want to hit that wants to understand that you need to know all the teams to be a fan of one team.
Oh, yeah. And I'm actually pretty happy that it's the Montreal area because I kind of adopted them. Sadly, they didn't win, but I was big on them. So makes me happy that they were big on the Blue Note fan report.
Well, hey, Jordan, you never know. You might get a paint job sometime.
Jordan,
you never know.
I got a red journey. I mean, I call him Johnny Appleseed, and it grew on me. I didn't like the color at first either, but red isn't bad.
No, red's not a bad color. Well, their family has some aversion to red that's not even funny. I understand that. I don't like any other teams. You can not like other teams, but you need to understand other teams. And that's how you get out there and you play them and you know what's going to happen and you know what to watch for out there. I've been told that I watch games very interestingly and very uniquely, but in a way that when I talk about it, it gives everybody an understanding of it. And that's what I want everyone to get, that understanding of hockey that I have and how I watch a game. And that's because I can watch other teams and see what they're doing. I know what the Blues need to do against them. And that's what's important. So have you seen the protection list, Ashley?
Yes, I have.
What do you think of who's available?
I mean, I know you were talking about Mikkola while I was getting ready, and I really just don't think they're going to go for him. I really think it's going to be done. I think they want a steady D, and he has the Stanley Cup history. He's won it once with us, and I think that's what they're going to go for. I want them to go for Tarasenko, but I doubt they take that contract.
No, they're not going for Tarasenko.
Yeah,
they're not taking Tarasenko. There's a side deal there. They wanted. First of all, I'm betting that Seattle said you leave Barbashev unprotected. We're taking him. Mm-hmm. Right. I'm pretty sure because, I look at that list. If you leave Barbie unprotected on that whole list, that's who I'm taking. Now, there is one small caveat in here that I think a lot of people might be missing, and it's right now, between now and the draft, Seattle is the only team that can negotiate with.
I can't hear you.
Something happened. There we go. I
you.
think I'm coming back now. Yeah, I cut out for a second.
You cut out again. Can't hear you. Well, looks like Guy will be back in a few seconds. Yeah, I think that decking the inside out with blue stuff will help cancel out the red, Jordan. But really, I mean, I didn't like my red journey either. I always get blue cars. Hi, Jordan. Hopefully Guy pops on because I really have no idea what to talk about. So I'm just kind of watching the chat and seeing if I see anything to talk about. Hold on a second. That's right. We don't need to have Guy to talk about Kairu. What do you guys think about Kairu being protected? Yes, Guy would definitely want to leave Perubi unprotected. I still think that Perubi can still show himself this season. I haven't given up on him yet, but Guy is a different story. And yes, I'm liking the protected list. Yeah, Kairu is super fast. I really enjoy his speed. The only issues I have with him is sometimes he gets stuck in his head and it's like he can't break out. He gets to trying to be too fancy. But otherwise, I think Kairu's got a lot of potential. I don't want to let him go. Yeah, I know a lot of people hate Perubi. Oh, Jordan, I love Shen. You know that. He's not my favorite like he's yours, but I really hope they take Tarasenko, but I don't think they're going to. I really think that they're going to go for Dunn just because of his age and the fact that he has proven himself on the blue line. Yeah, of course you like hearing Shen's name, Jordan. I think Berube's fine. I think that it's just been a weird 2 seasons. He did great at the start of, last season, and then the pandemic happened. So
let's see.
Oh, I'm not alone anymore. Yay.
I'm sorry. Actually, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, my mic just stopped. I had to reset my entire system. So let's welcome in Lance from the Drop Hockey Podcast. Lance, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. How's everyone today?
Not bad. And then we got the Mr. Stagg is back. How you doing, Stagg?
I'm just overwhelmed by Lance's energy, but I love to see him. He knows I love him.
Well, let's talk about, I know Ashley was talking a little bit about it. Oh, I know we love Ashley. And thank you so much, Ashley, for filling in when my mic cut out. I know I apologize about that. We all, we're going to do, it's 90%. I'm trying to catch up on some of the comments. Chris Shackley said going to be Vladdy, leaving him protected everyone, unprotected, protected everyone else. They're not taking Vladdy. Lance, you're a little more connected than me. I don't see him taking Vladdy at all. Do you?
No, number one, from what I know, the Kraken have stated several times, and I've been told several times that they want their cap hit to be anywhere between $53 and $60 million. And there's no way that they're going to take Vladimir Tarasenko at what he's making. And then you got these people saying, oh, they're going to take Tarasenko, they're going to take Carey Price, they're going to take Landeskog. Well, heck, if they took all three of those guys, they're at almost $30 million. They're at $25 million out of a $53 to $60 million budget. Not, most of these guys they're going to take are going to be guys that are on their way out with other teams. Number one. Number two, they're going to be young guys with team-friendly contracts that maybe have, a year or two left. They're going to see what they can get in a year or two, build on that through the draft, make some trades, so on and so forth. There's no way they're taking Tarasenko. And one other thing that people I've seen on Twitter, well, it's a good thing we're keeping Tarasenko and that he couldn't get any offers and that nobody wanted him. Number one,
that's not true.
Number one, that's not true. Number two, there's 3 or 4 offers out there for him. In fact, the Kucherov offer from the Capitals is still out there. They just won't take it because I think Armstrong's concerned about Kucherov's past. There's a couple other teams that have had offers, and anyway, I've heard people say, well, the Blues aren't going to trade him because they would have traded him by now. Guys, there's time. A lot of people thought that, well, it's going to be the expansion draft. If the Blues aren't going to protect him or they haven't traded him, they're just going to let him go. And then you got those people, well, this is the best way to let him go because it stresses Armstrong out the least amount. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And then you hear people say, well, if maybe all they could get from him was a 3rd-round draft pick, so I'm glad that they didn't get rid of him. Hey, if all they could get from him is a 3rd-round draft pick and you got rid of him, that's a 3rd-round draft pick you didn't have before. The guy's off injured. If somebody gives you an offer that you can live with,
I want to stop you there. I love you, right? But the oft injured is a myth. It really is. Prior to the shoulder surgeries, prior to the bubble, right? To the game where he hurt his shoulder in 19, he was 2nd in games played on the team, and the only one that had more games than him was Pietrangelo. That oft injured is a myth.
Yeah, guy, when you have injuries several years in a row, you're considered off injury, especially when it's the same part of the body. You don't have to have injuries every single year of your career. When you start getting them and they start piling up, that's what people consider off injured. I mean,
okay.
I don't agree with you, but I respect your opinion. I just think a lot of teams aren't going to touch him because of that. But I'm going to tell you this: if I was a GM and I had the opportunity to get him, and his salary, a lot of people think he's making the big bucks, considering if you could get this guy to score 25, 30 plus goals again at what he's making, it's a steal. It's a huge steal. And like I said, there's teams out there that want him. It's just Armstrong hasn't pulled the trigger.
Yep. I agree. Go ahead, Rob. I know you're busting at the seams over there.
But the only thing that gets me more triggered is the damn Los Angeles Chargers talk. And I'm not going to start that with you, Lance, because I know where you stand on that. But just having some fun, buddy. Hey, listen, I agree with you, man. I think that there is a deal in the works. I think there's a lot of things that are kind of at place. I'm all about where's the medical staff in this? Like, who's, why is nobody holding these guys accountable?
They're
exactly.
Not. Yeah. Nobody is. Everybody's saying Tarasenko should just shut up and people get injured. Fabry got hurt and he never complained. Well, you know what?
Yeah, he did.
He said something about it once. I do remember Fabry mentioned something about, he wasn't happy with the way that the rehab and surgery went. And guys, I'm going to tell you, Bouwmeester, when he got hurt, Bouwmeester would have been on the ice quicker if not for the way that he was surgically repaired. So this just didn't start with Tarasenko. If I'm a Blues player, and I'm sorry guys, I love the Blues, I'm not going to any surgeon the Blues have. I'm going to a surgeon that I want to do the surgery on me.
It's ridiculous. I mean, you get hurt. You know what? I just think it stinks to high heaven, and to make Tarasenko the scapegoat, I think is just, you know what? It's just typical. It's typical. Here's another star player that we're running out of town, bitter, never wants to come back here again for nothing ever. And it's just, come on, man, the fans deserve a little bit more. I think it comes down to egos and hubris and, okay, this guy's going to be the scapegoat for the fact that we can't play and, bull crap. I just, I have a hard time digesting it. I really
yeah,
did.
yeah, and
The
yeah.
fact that it's over here, just real quick, it's over, and I get that. I'm not saying we should keep him. I know Guy has said, but it's over. There's no way he can be effective.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in on this because Martin Plama says he ran himself out of town, Rob. No, he didn't. Let's get that clear straight up.
You're off base there, buddy.
Martin, I want to say this, and don't take this the wrong way, okay? Prior to the information coming out about the trade, prior to that information, not one person on Twitter or Facebook or any of that had this huge negative, get rid of him, he's a bum, he's doing all this stuff. There were people that would say leave him unprotected, but not like that is now. This trade information comes out, and all of a sudden,
hatred.
Well, guys, after the playoffs, what did everybody say, Rob and Guy? Oh, it's Tarasenko's fault. He didn't score enough. And I'm just sitting there going, he's a scapegoat. This guy's a scapegoat who's given nothing but years and years to this team and given his best. And that whole stuff about him, he wanted the captaincy and was so depressed about it. That guy that wrote that in Russia, number one, is known as somebody that makes up stories. Number two, it was translated into English by some of these people that quoted the article by Google Translate. And if you guys have ever used Google Translate, I speak a little Russian and a little bit of French and Spanish, and Google Translate is not always correct.
Yeah, sure. The other thing is what are the optics, and why would we talk about Gabriel Landeskog? Why would he want to come here? Like he sees the shit show and the circus, be like, no way, I don't want anything to do with it. The coach is on the hot seat, apparently, according to Guy. They don't have the stars aren't producing. The magazine cover boy is being run out of town on a rail. Man, who would want it?
And another point is why would he want it is this. He's a defense first coach. Even he tells his offensive players defense first. If I'm Landeskog, I don't mind playing, reliable defense, but I'm not going to put defense first because of my speed. I'm going to be a guy that's going to assist. And he's a great assist guy and is decent at scoring goals. But, I wouldn't come here, number one. I just wouldn't. Why as an offensive guy would you go to a team that puts defense first? I wouldn't.
Yeah, and you see what they did to Hoffman, to Tarasenko.
Guy, I can't hear you.
Guy, we can't hear you, buddy.
You see what they did to Hoffman and Tarasenko. I mean, the way they treated, I don't know.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. Yeah.
No accountability there.
Yeah, no, there's not. And the reason this team lost in the playoffs is because, number one, I don't think they played very well. I think we can all agree that there's some people that said they played very good, which I don't understand. Number two, Berube was outcoached. Berube was really outcoached in that series by Bednar. Jared Bednar made adjustments. And yeah, we hear you. Jared Bednar made adjustments, and Berube wasn't able to keep up with him, or he made the wrong adjustments.
All right, Guy.
Yeah, Guy, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. No, so this is, and I'm getting so frustrated with all this right now. I really am. I wrote that article, and I get some crap. Actually, it's really funny. It hasn't got the reads I thought it would. But there's some things that people are missing. What is the coach's job? The coach's job is to coach the players he has. Period. If he has players that don't do the things he wants to do, he either needs to A, get with the GM and get rid of those players, or B, adjust to those players and put them in the spot to make them successful.
I wonder where you heard that from, Guy.
Quiet over there. Be quiet. I've been saying this for a while too. You know that. But at the same time, there's just so much. I'm sorry. I've heard about Schwartz a lot, and Schwartz is not resigning with the Blues, and it straight comes down to Berube. I mean, there is a complete disconnect in that locker room.
Yeah, I will tell you that Schwartz told players right after his meeting with Berube that he wasn't coming back, and he made that decision very quickly. So, sorry, Rob, go ahead.
Why hasn't been reported by JR? He's the narrative guy in the town.
He knows everything. So,
Well, you know what? Because who does that make look bad?
that's right. You're
Who does that
exactly
make
right.
look bad? I'm sorry. No. I want to say this. Who does that make look bad? Does it make Schwartz look bad or does it make the team look bad? I'll be honest with you. It makes the team look bad because Schwartz right now has this air of superiority or this air of angelness on him that is gone with Tarasenko. So leaking it on Tarasenko puts the fan base against Tarasenko. Leaking it on Schwartz puts the fan base against the team. That's why it hasn't been leaked. I'll guarantee that.
And as a beat writer, Jeremy's not going to do that. He's
Well,
just
I'm
not.
not, I don't want to call him out, but I got to tell you though, he's the only game in town, and people need to realize that we're being sold what the team wants you to hear, man. The first call is Jeremy Rutherford. They're not calling the Blue Note Fan Report. Guy and I sure as hell know that.
Yeah, but you know what? But we've been saying this for a while. No. And then at what point is Army's fault? You know what? Rob has been bringing this up to me privately for a little bit now, and I think he's starting to gel on something here. At what point is this Army's fault? And I've been an Army apologist, and I admit that, but I look at what's been available, right? Have Berube type players been available? And I say, and to me, and I'm going to ask Ashley this because Ashley, I can see her stewing over there. What Berube type players have been available? I don't think there have been any because the league, after the Blues won the cup, it changed. It went to a speed game because a speed game is how you get around that heavy checking game.
I mean, I don't recall anyone that I think would be a Berube style player being available, or at least, talked about being available. So it still goes down to he gets the pieces that he think are going to be successful. I don't really see anything being Army's fault quite yet. Berube's the one that's failing to build a system that shines on all of his players.
Yeah, but Ashley, you got to look at it this way too. If you've got a coach that's defense first, why do you go out and sign Mike Hoffman when you know Mike Hoffman's going to have issues? He had to have gotten the okay from Berube, but as a GM, you need to look at your system and see what type of players you're getting, and your coach isn't using them properly. That's part of that is on you as a general manager.
Why they even bring him in? Why they even bring him in?
Yeah. Why did they bring Mike Hoffman in? And all they did was wait until the playoffs or right before the playoffs to start using him properly.
Yep.
I've been with that from the get-go. Is
that Berube or is that Doug Armstrong?
It's both. It's both of their responsibilities.
Yeah, but see, Hoffman was the best offensive guy out there, and we had what should have been one of the best power play units out there, and they never got to play together. Almost never got to play together. Right now, some of it was injury, but I can't let the injury bug be the thing that can't be an excuse. I'm sorry. At some point, it cannot be an excuse because everybody dealt with injuries.
Well,
now, did we have more?
Yeah. Well, what's funny to me, Guy, is if you ask most fans, and I'm sorry to interrupt you there, buddy. If you ask most fans, did injuries play a part? They go, oh, yeah, the reason the Blues are bad is because of injuries. But then if you ask them, hey, did the guys the Blues brought up from the minors play well when they brought him up? Oh, yeah. The Dakota Joshua was great. Mikalo was great. This guy was great. Well, you can't have it both ways. Did injury affect this team, or was it the talent not good enough when it came up? You can't have it both ways.
But to me, actually.
Did they play great? No, they disappeared as the year went along.
Mm-hmm.
Right? No. So Chris Shockley says, I think Army knew the league was going to change, and he was stuck with the saver Berube. And that's not a bad point. And I get that. And I don't want to – everyone thinks that I'm choking and killing on Berube, that I don't like Berube. It's not that. Right? It's not that. What I see is a coach that is you brought something up, Rob, and I'm gonna throw this out there back at you. You brought it up on the group. You said, "What do you want? Another Iron Mike?" Well, you know what? That's exactly what this is turning into. This is exactly what this situation is turning into. Another Iron Mike, a coach that's gonna drop his fist and say, "This is the way it's gonna be. I don't care. You like it or you leave."
Well, and even I said it before Jeremy did towards parts of the season.
No, you cannot. That can't happen. You know that.
I know.
Man.
I said it that there's a disconnect. That this locker room is split. And what guy about a month later, Jeremy said on another interview with somebody that there's issues in the locker room that he don't know how far they go. But that locker room was split. There's guys that love Berube and would go to war for him, and then there's guys in there that like a guy you mentioned earlier that was not real big on him. His initials are JS, and that's just the way it is. And you're always going to have locker rooms where some guys don't buy in. You are. But when they get on the ice, they at least give the max effort and play well because they're proud. They're proud to be in the NHL. And I think we all saw that. Ashley saw it, Rob saw it, Guy saw it, that something wasn't right in that locker room. It's apparent when you get on the ice. If a locker room's good, you see it on the ice. If a locker room's bad, you see it on the ice.
Can I ask Lance this? And because I'm really interested. I saw this randomly popped up that apparently there was a division in the locker room that Steen had a huge influence, and when he left, it really caused a big chasm, a really division, and nobody really knew who to kind of follow because there wasn't a strong enough personality. Had you heard that, or is that crap, or what do you think?
No, I think that may have been it, but getting if you want to talk about Steen too, everybody gives him a pass because he's the great Alex Steen. And I love the guy. The first years he was here was just great. The best, in my mind, the best two-way player in the league, and he never got recognized for it besides here in St. Louis. But his last couple of years weren't great. He showed up in the playoffs the year of the Cup and played great on that fourth line with the young guys. But when Pietrangelo was given the C, I happen to know for a fact that locker room was split because some of them wanted Steen to get the C. And you know what? In this whole time I got that information, not once did I get information that Tarasenko was upset that he didn't get the C. But you're right. Steen was a leader in that locker room, and half of them followed him, and some of them didn't. So when Pietrangelo got that C, Steen was upset. And, it's apparent, when Steen leaves, Pietrangelo leaves, there's a little bit of a vacuum there.
Okay, well, I got it. Rob puts out a quote and says, take 2019 out. How good have the teams been that Army put together? It's been mediocre for a decade. Well, hold on a second. What about 2016? That he put together these guys, the core of this team came in about 2012, 2013, 2011 in that period. And that's when a lot of this stuff started clicking. We did have a bunch of first round exits, but then all of a sudden we're in the Western Conference Finals. And then 3 years later, we're in the Stanley Cup Finals, winning the cup. So these are the guys. A GM doesn't affect the team year to year. He affects the team 3 years down the road. Every move that a GM makes, most moves he makes, affects the team 3 to 4 years down the road, not immediately. So I got to go back and say, I see some of Army's good moves. Where I don't see good moves is lately. And while I do admit being an Army apologist, I wonder how much of that is because the guys that you would like to have aren't available.
Well, okay. Can I ask a question real quick? And because I'm not familiar with how it works. So when they're setting the lineup day to day, is the GM come down and say, hey, I think this guy's dogging and he needs to sit? Or, hey, I think, or is that totally on Berube? I know it's supposed to be on Berube, but like in baseball, is it really the coach filling it out?
I'll tell you this: most GMs stay away from the coach unless there's big issues. Okay. If he sees most GMs, if you see a coach that's not using a player properly, or he's not setting his lineups properly, and you see it from setting up in your suite during the games and you're watching it, you give him a little bit of rope. You let him do it. You let him see what he can do. But I'd be willing to bet you there's times Doug Armstrong, it's not all the time, it's not very much, has come down and said, hey, Craig, I think we need to change something here. This isn't working. This is what I've seen in these last 8 games. But he's not going to go down there every game or every 3 games. It's going to take him a while before he does something, because that's the reason why you hire a coach. You want him to make those decisions for you and make you look good.
Sure. Well, I just think in baseball, there's a whole train of thought that the GMs are really managing the games, and the managers are just pushing the buttons.
No, I don't see a GM coming down. The only time I see a GM coming down and doing anything would be if there's a trade going down and they want to sit a guy.
Yeah, it's
because of
rare.
the trade.
It's
right?
pretty rare.
That's the thing. And I got to do this real quick. Martine, you have redeemed yourself. You have redeemed yourself. Guys need to realize the biggest loss was Bouwmeester. You are absolutely right. That was a huge, huge loss. Losing Bouwmeester, knowing that he probably had 2 more years in him of putting his influence on this team, and losing him as quickly and as abruptly as we did. And I know that's the same word almost, but has I can't think of a right word.
Abruptly is pretty good.
Tragically, as we did, it really affected a lot of things.
Wordsmith.
What?
He died. Choose a different word. Choose a different word, Wordsmith. He didn't die.
Well, no, but the traumatic way that it happened, and the traumatic way that we lost him is what I'm talking about. So
sounds
that's
like you're saying he died.
We didn't lose him. He's still alive.
Okay. Yes, but
I love you, dude. I love you, bro.
it was still traumatic. It was traumatic in the way it happened, and I think traumatic's probably the better word. Rob Morton says player realized they weren't immortal after his collapse. I kind of agree with that. Martin comes back. I don't know if I can handle the GM and coach stuff anymore. The leadership group of players before the coaching. It's the leadership group of players before the coaching.
Okay.
Rob, that's what Rob's been saying. That's what Rob's been saying.
Yeah, but
Martine,
you've got to put in a system and make each player in that system succeed. If your coach doesn't do that, I don't care what kind of leadership you have on your team. If he's misusing players like he did with Hoffman and other guys, they're not going to win. You could have 10 leaders on the team, and if he's not putting them in positions to win and have the right game plan against each team, I'm going to tell you right now, you know what Craig Berube's game plan against each team is? Stop their top line and play defense. That's his game plan for each game. And, you know, I don't blame him for everything, because, you know, there's times where you can tell he's had a very good plan and he does make adjustments. But, you know, you've got enough blame here to go around, from the GM to the coach to the players.
That is true.
There's responsibility for each one of those. You know, even if a player doesn't like the way he's being used, he needs to still give effort. He still needs to go out there and play. You know, but, you know, Berube's responsible and the players are responsible.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I agree with that. But I think that, you know, it's just, now that Tarasenko's out of the picture, quote unquote, Berube's going to be the next person they hit on. And then Armstrong, it's cyclical. And I just tell you, it's kind of embarrassing in some regards to be a fan in this town sometimes. I'm sorry. It is for me.
You know, I get where you're all at. I really do. You know, this is the horse. This is the dead horse that we've been beating really bad. But that's where it comes from. There's just so much, and it lies. Everyone wants to put a blame somewhere, but you know, and here's the thing. You know how good that is? That is a good thing that everyone wants to put a blame, because it means that they believed that we had a team that was good enough to win. You go back to the 05, 06, 07.
Hey, Guy.
Yeah.
Hey, Guy, real quick. I got to say, and Ashley can relate to this, I'm getting ready to walk in the house after the Walmart run. So you know how that's going to be. Everybody's been jumping on me. You've been there, Ashley. I know you've been there.
Oh, I'll pull you out for a few minutes, and you kind of wave to me when you're back.
Thanks, guys. All right.
No, so what I was trying to say is the fact that everyone is looking for blame is a good thing, because back in the 05s, 05, 06, after the Lowrys destroyed the team, they cared. No one put a blame on them, the Blues losing. Oh, it wasn't the coach's plan. It wasn't the GM. It was and no one cared. They care now because we have the team in place that should do better than first round exits and do 10-1 in 2 years of playoffs. Agreed? Disagree?
I agree.
Right? So, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with that. I just think that You know, the fact that we care now is important, but at the same time, you know, that everyone is now. This is a good one. Gary says, "I'm surprised they didn't change any assistant coaches."
They still can.
They still can, and I still think that there could be some. We should be a tad more positive. In Armstrong, we trust. Okay, but see, this is the problem. You have three different contingencies here. You have the Armstrong contingency, have the Berube contingent, and then you have the player contingent. And they are all set on the players are, it's Berube. The Berubes are, it's the players. And then everybody is, it's Armstrong. You know, they're bouncing off of each other. You know, there's none of this, you know, it's just bouncing off of, you know, Armstrong, it's Berube, or it's the player. So there's no cohesiveness.
Well, you have to look at this guy, and like you said, the Blues made the conference finals against the Sharks in 2016, 2015, 2016 season.
Yeah,
and then they won the Cup in 2019. Who's been the constant through all of the last 10 years?
It's been Armstrong.
It's not Mike Yeo. It's not Ken Hitchcock. It's not Craig Berube. Who's the constant? So if someone is the constant, I think when blame gets passed down, a lot of times you have to blame that person. But when there's praise to be had, a lot of times you got to praise that person because they're the constant. Go ahead, Ashley.
I was just
Jordan
said I back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Jordan loves us.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, he deserves praise when he does well, and when he does bad, you know, hey, everybody, we're all humans, and no matter what job we have, we get praise. No matter what job we have, we get torn down now and again from our bosses, whether we needed it or not. So, you know, it's just, you got to look at the constant, and the constant in this equation is Doug Armstrong. And I'm not saying he's at fault for all this. I'm not. I'm saying that is a constant, and that people need to look at that when they base their decision on, is Doug Armstrong a great GM or isn't he? Because before 2019, even after the 2015-2016 season and the 2016-2017 and 2017-2018 season, there were people that wanted him fired. And before 2016, there was people that wanted him fired.
That's true.
Now all of a sudden, these same people, because he won one cup, say he's a genius. You know, you've got to look at his whole record. I'm very grateful for that cup, and he had something to do with it. He helped build the team. Berube had something to do with it. He helped coach the team. The players had something to do with it. They were the ones on the ice for the final product. So there's a lot of blame to go around, and there's praise to go around when it needs to be.
Yep. Chris Shockley says he has O'Reilly, but he also had Miller. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. And Ryan Green says, I like Mike Hoffman. I think he deserves another chance. I actually think Hoffman's going to be back. I really do.
So. I really hope so.
I think Hoffman's going to test the and Rob's got me. See, Rob.
Hey, guy, I will tell you one thing about Hoffman real quick before I forget, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Montreal wants him bad. So Montreal's going to be losing some players to free agency. Don't be shocked if he does get a good offer from them, because they are very interested in Mike Hoffman.
I have heard that, and I do know that, and I'm not happy about that. But I also think that if Tarasenko leaves, that frees up that extra $2.5 million, $3 million. I mean, he was making $4 million. I think he is a $6 to $7 million guy, and I think that that's something that we can throw into him if need be. Right. So I think that he wants. The only thing that throws me that I kind of look at is, if you look at the last 3, maybe even 4. Actually, you can go way back. You can go all the way back to 2015 and say that nobody from the West has shown any intensity about staying a good, solid team since the Blackhawks, right? I think since 15, we've had a different representative from the West in the finals. No one's repeated, right? The Sharks have only made one cup. The Nashville made a cup. We made a cup. Who else made a cup? Dallas made a cup. This year, Montreal was considered the West, made a cup. Actually, no Western team made a cup. Vegas made a cup. I mean, you keep going back, and I don't see anything from the West that shows me any amount of power or structure that continues on.
You
And
forgot
since
about San Jose. You forgot about San Jose in 20.
I said Sharks. I said the Sharks.
All right.
That was the first team I mentioned, the Sharks.
All right.
Sharks, Nashville, us, Vegas, Dallas, Tampa, or not Tampa, Montreal. And that's as far back as I can think, but I know there's got to be another one for that, you know. But you look at the East. Oh, I see you, Rob. Okay. Rob's here now.
No.
But
the LA Kings were dominant in 2013.
12 and 14,
No.
12 and 14, and I said to 15.
He said after
I said to
15.
15. I said after 15, right? So 15. So here we go. So you've just made this. So in the West, you had in 2010, I think the Blackhawks won it. Were in it. In 11, Boston beat, I want to say Vancouver. I think they beat, Vancouver, because that was the last time Vancouver. In 12, the Kings were in it. In 13, the Blackhawks were in it. In 14, Kings were in it. In 15, the Blackhawks were in it. 16 was the Blues. Or no, 16 was the Sharks. 17 was the Predators.
Predators, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm missing one. I'm missing one.
No,
I'm missing one. I think I'm missing one. 15, 16, 17 was the Predators. 18 was the Knights. 19 was us. 20 was Dallas. 21 was Montreal, considered a Western team. So you look at this, you're going back half a decade or more, and you don't have any continuity in the teams in the West. Yet you look at the East. Oh my goodness, have you got continuity over there? And now you've got Montreal, who all of a sudden, I don't know if they caught lightning in a bottle or if they flipped a switch or what happened, but Montreal is all of a sudden a team to compete in the East, but no team in the West has gotten any strength or shown anything that they can be a powerhouse. The closest has been Vegas, believe it or not.
I'll tell you what, though, a team like Montreal, they're going to get old real quick.
True. That Montreal is in a tough division this season, going into next season. So that is true. Morton says salary cap hockey. So you look back, we went back a full decade and a year. And for a long period, we show no Western teams that have any continuity or any strength, right? And then even you look at the East, you've got Boston in there a couple of times, you got Tampa in there a couple of times, you got Pittsburgh in there a couple of times. I mean, there's some strength in the East that we don't have in the West, and that's what concerns me, is that we don't have that strength. All right, so we only got a few minutes left because I got something I got to go do. So I'm going to go around the horn. Start down with Lance. Lance, tell us what you got going and any last thoughts, my friend.
One last thought. The Kraken are not taking Carey Price at $10 to $11 million a year for 6 years. Stop it, people. Just stop it right now. Okay, thank you. I'm going to have a new podcast coming up in probably tomorrow or Tuesday where I'll be talking about a lot of this stuff. I'm going to talk about the Suter and Parise deals and all that. But you can find me at lanced@droppodcast.com. You can email me there, or you can find me at droppodcast.com, or you can also find me at Drop Hockey or the Drop Hockey Show and Twitter. So just look for me there. And I appreciate everybody watching us here tonight. And please continue to watch Guy.
Yep. Oh, thank you. I'll get back to you in a second, Lance. Ashley, anything for us?
No, just everybody remember to keep August 28th clear. Come see everybody at Don Brown and support Haley and, the fight. And that's really all I got.
Hey, one way you can do that, the arena shirts. The arena shirts. If you buy those arena shirts, they're actually made to order. So we had a shipping date of August 1st. If we can get enough orders, we can ship them out earlier. So I really, guys, go out. If you can buy some of those and get some of them, there's plenty of different sizes. I know we don't have kid size listed. I'm going to talk to my supplier about that to see if I can get some kid size, youth size listed, and we'll go from there. But please, if you can, get a couple of them shirts, because those are coming. And then, E. Guido got one. I appreciate that, E. And then we're also going to have, within the next week, some STL Fan Report shirts available, and possibly some Blue Note Fan Report shirts available. And we're looking at, me and Brock talked about it, Hawaii Blues fan in the Stagg shirt. Right?
Real quick, I got to say one thing. If you don't have kid shirts, buy a small, parents, and you know what happens when you wash small 100% cotton shirts? They shrink. So if they don't have kid shirts, just buy a small and let it shrink in hot water. So. Yep,
that's what I figured. Hey, Rob, you got anything, buddy?
I do. This week, I'm going to go nuclear on your ass about stuff you've been writing. I think it's time that I'm going to pull out the pen, and me and you are going to go at it this week. Because I think this Berube talk is
mano a mano.
Well, actually, no. See what he brings in.
I think it's detrimental to the city, and it's detrimental to the team.
I disagree. I disagree with that. Yes, Ryan Green, I would love to have the retro come back, but I'm probably in the minority there.
You are.
I like him. I'm sorry. I like him.
Did anybody see my suggestion for the classic, the 85 to 87 jersey?
Hold on. I have that. I have it available. I know what it is. I have 75 of them to sell in the medium, large, and extra large, and I'm trying to get 25 more double X's. I have them. If you go to the shop, you can pre-order them. I am getting Adidas shirts. I have a supplier who is guaranteeing me Adidas jerseys, and my price will beat anybody's. $130 for a blank, $170 with names.
And finally, the last thing I'm working on, thank you very much for the introduction there, Guy. I'm going to be on Twitter, and I'm really out there on Twitter. So hope you guys follow me. We have a lot of good time, and we get into a lot of topics. So
we do.
Enjoy us, follow us. We have a great time. We all connect on Twitter, and we support each other. But I got to tell you, Guy, this is the week you're going to be telling me to beg the F off is what you're going to tell me.
No, I know that, and
you got it planned, huh?
Don't worry, Guy.
I do have a plan. I do have a plan. Lance, I'll talk to you. I'll send you a message about what you just sent me. So here's what I got. First of all, Monday, we got a great week this week. Monday, scheduled to appear. I'm going to use the word scheduled because you know how things happen. Monday, Joe Fresca.
Fresca.
Joe Fresca.
No. Take two. Joe Fresca, a member of the Pasta House family, a very wise and very civic-minded individual.
Yes, Joe Fresca is going to be on this. I can't say it, man.
You got to learn.
Hey,
I'm
Guy,
just struggling.
Don't feel bad. When I had my vlog on YouTube, me and my son did. He could not say Bernie Federico for the life of him. He kept messing up Bernie. Federico. Yeah. I mean, he did it every time he said his name on our 50 shows.
John Mayberry, the hitter John Mayberry.
Yeah.
That's just something. Yeah, that's just something with me, and I've had trouble with people's names for forever, and that's because in the service, you nickname everybody. So when you see somebody's name, you see that nickname. He would have been Fresh. That would have been his name on the ship. He would have been Fresh.
Guy, yes. you need to make your mea culpa, but to read low about the voice to text.
Oh no, I did already. I already did. Yeah, we already took care of that.
Be careful.
I already took care of that. So Monday is Joe Shasta or Fresta. That's the only way I can remember it. Fresta.
Well, he might come on.
Did I say it wrong again?
Fresha.
Damn. Joe Fresha. I'm sorry, Joe. I apologize. I have trouble with some names. Forgive me, sir.
It's Joe Fresha. He's a great guy. I love Joe Fresca. He's the best dude I know.
Well, see, that's why I keep saying it wrong, because you keep saying it like that, so you put that back in my head. So it's your fault. Joe Fresha.
No, stop.
So we got Joe coming on Monday. On Tuesday, scheduled to appear is Reed Lowe with 2 E's and an LOW. Wednesday is the draft show. Lance is going to be on with us. Me, Lance, and Rob are going to come on at the beginning of the show, and we'll kind of go through the whole draft. And Thursday, Rob, it's you and me, and we're going to go toe to toe on the articles. Just and me.
I gotta watch that. I'll be there. I'll be watching it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna go all WWE and say we're sick of you spouting your bullshit out, and you just think because you got your damn internet site that you can set the narrative. The narrative is not set by you, man. And I'll tell you what, if Coach Ruby gets pissed off and walks out and says, "The hell with this place," I'm holding you and you responsible.
I'll take that heat, and you know what? I suggest a cage match between you two. Let's just do a no hold barred cage match,
right? And then on Friday, we have Open Mic Friday. We're going to let you guys run the show. You tell us what you want to talk about, and then we'll talk about it. Dan Brown Chevrolet instead of Don Brown. Remember, I was messing that up.
Gosh.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I know it's all. So this is going to be.
Hey, Guy, do you remember when you used to say it was Forrest Grump Enterprises instead of Forrest Crump?
Yeah.
Yes. So as you can see, I have an issue with names sometimes, but I try. And you know what? It's live show, so I'll get better. We'll all get better. But you know what? All you guys that watch me, thank you so much. Ashley, thank you for jumping in.
No problem.
Lance, thank you for coming in. Rob, you're a great co-host. I can't wait for Thursday when it's you and me, and we just go at it. And then last thing is this guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, saying aloha, mahalo, and you got to know that all of us are bleeding blue with you, and we can't wait to see you on the next St. Louis Fan Report. Hello.